All right. So, welcome everybody. This is session number 2.
Good.
Thumbs up. Good. All right. So I have some more good news for the group. I just want a reminder how inspiration works, which is once per game. If you want to use inspiration, you just need to announce it in advance, and whatever die roll you're about to make, I'm going to let you add 2 to that roll. So this could be particularly good for like a damage roll or a critical attack roll. Once you use it, it's gone, and you're not allowed to accumulate inspiration. But I went back to the recording, and I was listening to player backgrounds, and I thought that Nyx did a really good job getting her backstory kind of in different places in the background. So Nyx, I'm also going to be rewarding you inspiration for today's session.
Yay.
Got you. Got.
Good news. All right, so we're still in the very first day of our adventure. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon inside the old windmill. So what happened on the first day is that our party met a despondent halfling in the Welcome Wench in the seaside town of Stonitza. The halfling, Shayna Wellness, explains that her cousin Happy Shoals was kidnapped by Smiley Bob, who was a bear that had become friendly to the halfling community in Riverslye Homestead. So the party agrees to travel to Shayna's family village to meet Gerard, the halfling elder, to learn more about what happened. It was there that the party discovered that Smiley Bob had actually returned a second night to the homestead and kidnapped a second halfling, Punkin Rockhugger. The party then tracked Smiley Bob to his lair, an abandoned old windmill sitting on a rocky outcropping on the inland waters of the Malagasy Ocean. The party handily dispatched a group of goblins and rescued Punkin, but Punkin had some sad news. The goblins had murdered Happy and put him in a stew. Punkin also shared that a goblin chief had been tricking Bob into capturing halflings in exchange for huge barrels of fish. So the party began discussing a plan to ambush the chief and his minions, the goblin chief, by surprising him at his favorite fishing spot. So this is where we left off. Nyx had just cast the Goodberry spell and eaten a few to heal herself from the last battle. And Simon had suggested that the party figure out a way to ambush the goblin chief. And Punkin said that would be a great idea. So we'll pick up the action from there. Tell me what you'd like to do.
Punkin knows where the goblins are, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, bust open chest.
Boo discovers that the chest is locked. Would you like to find another way to get access to what's inside?
Is the chest made of wood?
It's a chest made of wood, yes.
I can cast a cantrip called Create Bonfire that would essentially set it all aflame. I don't know if that would consequently set the whole thing aflame.
Yeah, I think that probably
have like an axe or a large rock or
do
something.
you have the spell knock?
No. I don't have
What
any.
if we toss it out the upper story window?
That could work.
Sure. Let's try that.
I mean, it could have like gems inside or something, and it could just
would the gems break?
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone have like the short swords or things?
I gave mine to Punkin.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one.
You have one, okay. What do I?
Wait, does anyone have a thief's pack?
Nope.
Oh, I can tinker. I don't know if my tinker's tools would be sufficient to pick a lock.
I don't know.
Well, let's see. We could use, use the butt of one of the short swords as like a hammer, and then use like someone's knife or like a pointy rock, and or we could just haul the chest. Well, hold on. The thing was, if I remember correctly, we have 15 minutes technically before the goblins are supposed to show up.
Something like that, yeah.
Ambush them, we might as well do that now, and we can come back for the chest, because it seems like we're going to have a little bit of trouble getting into it.
Fair enough.
Sounds about right, sure.
We can like hide it
Okay.
somewhere.
But
Tell us where.
Nick.
Well, hold on. Presumably the windmill has a foundation of some sort, right?
But wait, why don't we just see how heavy it is to begin with?
Good point. Good idea.
Okay. Nyx heads over and tries to lift the chest.
And how much does Nyx weigh, by the way?
I think she weighs like 45 pounds.
Yeah, by herself, Nyx is really... Okay, actually, roll... Can you roll a strength check, Nyx? Let's see what happens.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
2.
A 2. Nyx tries and can't even get a single finger to lift this very heavy chest. This chest is clearly heavier than Nyx.
Okay. Well, I vote we just leave it here. Like, if it turns out that we miss out on something, we can always come back for it. We know where it is.
Sure. And should we waste any more time on conversation then? Because we gotta go. We have 15 minutes to go be surprised.
Next, I have a favor to ask you. I have a 4 damage from the goblin. Would it be fine if I get 4 berries or whatever?
Yeah, no problem. And Nyx hands over 4 good berries.
Yay! So my HP is recovered.
That's right.
Thank you.
Sure.
So, you guys want to go so we don't...
Yeah, let's head out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's head out.
So
Punkin
we'll
says...
follow Punkin.
Yeah, Punkin says, follow me, it's not so far. Just closer to the river. And she points toward the direction of the river, and on your way there, she says, by the way, there's an old fort made of stone that I can hide behind that will help me surprise the goblins. And Sibo, you and Nyx are almost the same size as me. I think you could take advantage of the cover from the broken down walls of these ruins. What do you think?
That sounds great.
I would say we take it.
We
Where
could have the
You-
taller people go and surprise at the river and drive them backwards towards the shorter people, who would then be a second round of surprises and attacks.
Not a bad idea.
There's no guarantee that they'll run away, though. They could just come at us.
Yeah.
Well, then you yourself could bring them towards us. There
Fair
are many
enough.
ways to
we
move.
run
okay.
away in your direction.
Punkin says, I'm kind of short. I kind of don't want to go in the front, though. And I'm not so strong.
Maybe that's why a child shouldn't come into battle. But you know what? That's just my opinion. You don't see it, but I'm right. Whatever.
You guys will protect me, right?
Sure, Punkin. You can stick close to me, and we should be pretty alright.
No
Thank
guarantee.
you.
Don't
Thank you.
worry. You are worth money to us. Nothing will happen to you.
Thank you. Thank you. She like shivers, does a little halfling dance, and says,
Nyx ruffles her hair.
she's like, oh, I can't wait. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. We're gonna take down this goblin chief.
We're gonna do our best. Ooh, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does casting a cantrip count for an action?
It does.
Okay.
So, Punkin leads you to a small clearing where you see a few 3-foot-high stone remains of a former fortification, and 3 gnomes dressed 3 goblins dressed in rags very similarly to the goblins you met before, and you see 4 goblins carrying swords and fish from a recent expedition. Behind all of them, you see what clearly must be the goblin chief. He has a quite detectable stench that's a mixture of fish and bad breath and feet. Clearly has not bathed in a very long time, has straggly hair, a necklace with animal teeth and bones hanging from it, and he's carrying both a short sword in one hand and a bow on his back. Next to him, you see a huge barrel of fish that they've caught for the day, and think it's time to roll for initiative. So everybody, if you can go ahead and roll a d20, tell me what you get, and we'll take this away.
That was
8.
not good.
10.
I got a
10 for
4.
Simon? 4 for Boo.
I got 18.
18. All right. And Nix, what did you get, by the way?
8.
8. All right. So we have a battle going. The first one to move is the third. Oops.
Oh, could you screen share
Yeah.
the...
About to do that. Sorry. All right. Where'd he go? All right, so the first move is this guy. He is wielding a short sword. He sees you, kind of calls out something in Goblin to the rest of the party. Immediately, the rest of the party draw their weapons. This guy moves forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next to act is this Goblin. He looks very determined. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next to act is this Goblin. He's going to get closer and move 1, 2, 3, 5. Next to act is this Goblin. This Goblin's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sibo, you are next to act.
Can I move to the wall that is second closest to us?
This one?
Yeah. And move behind.
What's your movement again? Is it 30?
It's 25, so...
25. So 1, 2,
5,
3,
yeah.
4, 5. Yes, you can do that.
I don't know, I was thinking, so here's my thought to the group.
No, you won't.
I was
Okay.
So I was oh yeah, because we already started the battle. I should have done this before.
It's a great idea, whatever it is.
Well, I'm just gonna say it since, I forgot to do it in the beginning. I was thinking put a minor illusion and gather the 4 goblins on the downward side of the map into one point, and maybe somebody with the magic spell like fireball or something.
Okay.
Like I was thinking something like jewelry or something that goblins would like, and maybe they would fall for the minor trap, and then and somebody can attack them at once. So we take 4 at a time.
So we're gonna put some jewelry on the map.
That spot looks good.
Okay, and that's the end of your turn. Let's see. Next to act is the rear red goblin. This goblin's gonna move here. 2, 3, 4. And then Simon, you're next to act.
Okay, I want to run as close to the goblins as possible in a rough straight line and then cast the shield spell.
Which goblins? On the top or the bottom?
Just run, I guess,
Or straight in the middle?
straight in the middle.
And what's your speed?
I have 30.
So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, and then I would like to cast can I stand in grass? Okay. And then I'd like to cast a shield spell. Which,
Okay, go ahead and cast it.
okay, I cast it. It's
And I think
just
that's the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay, next to act is Nyx.
Nyx turns to Pumpkin and tells her to go hide behind the nearest wall. And
Okay.
Then, aw, she's so cute.
I'm
And
only
then
14!
she heads to the next nearest wall, and
This one or this? The one where Sibo is, or this wall up here?
no, up there.
Okay.
And she's going to cast create bonfire over the uppermost armored goblin. Or actually, no, over the middle armored goblin. Can't
This
she?
one right here.
It has a 60-foot range.
So you're creating a fire.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, actually, can I hit the goblin chief?
From 60 feet? Let me see here. Well, not directly anymore because the wall's in front of you.
Oh.
But at this diagonal, you can hit this goblin.
But with create bonfire, I don't have to go straight through. It doesn't matter going through anything.
But you wouldn't be able to see through this wall that's covering the goblin chief.
Okay.
And presumably she can't jump.
Yes. I mean, you could try to jump.
Nah, I think I'll just stick with burning the middle armored goblin. Yes, that one there.
Right. Do you have to cast a spell?
It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip? Okay. Let me find a fire here. Let's set this guy on fire then.
Woo. And he has to cast 1d8. It will do 1d8 damage if he doesn't succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity save. Okay.
Yes.
This is, let me see, goblin number. This is the armored goblin. Okay. You roll for damage.
Mm-hmm. 7.
Okay, you hold out your hand and shoot a searing bolt of flame that turns into a bonfire, singeing off the skin and some of the armor that this goblin is wearing. He shrieks in pain and yells a word in goblin, "Ah!" To the others. He clearly gets very angry at you for doing this. And I think that's the end of your turn, right, Nix?
Yes.
Alright, next to act is the goblin chief. The goblin chief is going to go... 5. Next to act is this goblin. He's gonna follow the chief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And next to act is Boo.
Cool. I'm gonna move in a straight line, 30 feet.
Where I am. Oh no. Is it one?
No,
North,
it's
south?
gonna head to you. And I'm going to shoot. No, that one's already on fire. I'll shoot the one looking at the jewelry. So far. Actually, wait, no, we want them to huddle up, right, around the jewelry. Yeah. No, I'll shoot the one up top next to it. Yeah, that one.
The one that also has armor.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
With a firebolt.
Oh, firebolt.
That's 12. Does that hit?
No, I'm sorry, that doesn't hit. Do you have any more actions?
No, that's it. That's the rest of my turn.
Okay. Punkin says, I know, I'm gonna hide. She almost quite gets to the wall. And that's the end of the first round. So at the top of the second round, this goblin starts inspecting the jewelry, and he tries to pick it up, and he realizes it's not there, and he just starts stomping his feet, getting really angry. And he's looking at the rest of the party, wondering which of you did that. And that's the end of his turn. The next goblin, who was struck by fire, he's going to go directly towards Boo and try to hit him with the sword. Boo, what's your armor class?
15.
He tries to lunge his sword directly at you, and he totally misses. He's probably distracted by the fire from earlier, unfortunately.
The dummy.
Okay. Next to act is this first goblin. This goblin's going to move over here. And then 1, 2, 3. Sibo, you're next to act.
Okay. So jewelry plan did not work.
Well, it did work a little bit because this guy ended up not attacking anybody on that turn.
Okay, so that's good, I guess. I'm gonna use my longbow and shoot the guy came near me.
Diagonally? Okay, go ahead and roll d20. And add your dexterity and proficiency bonus.
Yeah. So I got I rolled dice and I got 16 and I got +2 proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
And then do I add attack bonus to that?
Yeah, and Sibo, you hit. So tell us how you strike this goblin with your bow.
So I discreetly aim it towards the goblin nearby me, which he did not see me, it seems like.
Not at all.
And I aim at his head, and then let go of my the bow, and then I shoot him.
You strike him right in his chest. He reels back, taken aback by the blow. Seems quite stunned by this. Go ahead and roll for damage, Sibo.
8.
8. Well done. Okay, after Sibo, it's this goblin on the bottom. This goblin is going to walk over to the ring and inspect it. And he looks at it and he's grabbing it because he thinks it's real. And then he realizes it's not real. And he's stomping his feet, kind of looking at the party, wondering, who did this? Where did this come from? And that's the end of his turn. Simon, you are next.
Okay, I'm gonna move 15 feet. So I'm gonna go up 1, and then over 1, and then up 1. So, yeah. And then I'm going to try to hit the armored goblin with my slingshot. Newly acquired.
The one right next to Boo?
He can probably handle that one. No, the one above the one far, that guy.
Okay, go ahead and roll your d20.
Okay. I believe I have a proficiency with a slingshot.
You do. As a wizard, yes.
Okay, I got 19.
That's a hit.
Yep,
Tell us where you're aiming on this goblin.
Right between the eyes.
Right between the eyes. All right, roll for damage, please.
Okay. That's a D8, correct?
No, it's
D4.
D4 for sling.
I got 3.
Okay, you smack him right between the eyes. He reels back, kind of stunned, and it looks like he's readying his sword, ready to brandish you on his next turn. All right, so that was Simon. Next to act is Nyx.
Okay, I'm going to cast another cantrip at the goblin that Simon just aimed at, and I'm going to do create bonfire again.
Another bonfire, yeah.
Because why not? It worked with 7 damage last time. Okay, and then I rolled a 14.
14, that's gonna hit. Wait, on this one with armor.
Yes.
Okay, I just realized something. So apparently, the shield that I cast earlier is actually a reaction thing, and only lasts for like the duration of the reaction. So I don't know if I could technically cast it earlier when I did. Sorry.
Well, we'll give you the bonus to your armor class.
Okay.
Let me see. One reaction which you take when you are hit by an attack. You haven't been hit yet.
I know, but I thought it was like a thing that you cast and then you walk around with it, which apparently is not what, because I looked it up.
Yeah.
So we could just like pretend that didn't happen, or just say I lost it.
Well, what we can do is allow you to cast it as a reaction the first time you get struck.
Okay, sounds good.
So this bonfire starts crackling. It burns some of the grass around it. Some of the grass is on fire, but the goblin did not get hurt by that bonfire, Nyx.
No.
Really sorry.
No.
All right, the goblin chief is looking quite upset. He moves this way. This goblin moves over here. And Boo, it's now your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna take out my sword, start hitting this guy that's in front of me.
Let's do it.
Right, that fell off the table. That is a 23 to hit.
All right. So you hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. It definitely hits.
11 damage on the goblin.
The goblin starts shrieking to his friends. He's clearly very, very bloody and close to dying as you can see the wounds on his ugly goblin skin. Punkin is next. Punkin says, I want to fight too!
Oh.
Oh, please don't. No.
He moves over
I'm
here.
down here.
And that's the end of round 2. So the start of round 3, we're now entering round 3. Alright, let's see. So this goblin, the red goblin, moves first. This goblin is going to move over here and attack Sibo. Sibo, what's your armor class?
18.
He swings with a short sword and manages to hit nothing but the dirt. That's the end of his turn. This goblin goes next. He's very upset about what you did, Boo, and he's going to try to take his revenge on you right now by trying to aim his sword directly at your face. He clearly doesn't know where your face is because the sword manages to get swung back behind him, and that's the end of his turn. He's panting and grunting, very confused about how terrible he is at swordplay. This next goblin decides to move here. 1, 2. And this is Simon.
Yep.
This goblin is going to swing its sword directly at Simon's midsection. Simon, what's your armor class?
Well, it's 10 normally, but if I cast the shield, it would be 15.
Okay, let's find out what happens. I rolled a 10. You are struck, but you're casting shield immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So the damage doesn't go through for this attack, and that ends that goblin's turn. All right, Sibo, you're up next.
Okay, so I am going to eliminate the guy next to me.
Okay, so Sibo, one thing about being a ranger is you have disadvantage if you're using your bow because he's so close to you. So if you want, you can switch weapons to a sword, and then you won't have disadvantage. So it's kind of up to you.
I am gonna use my scimitar.
Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
I got 15 from dice, so adding proficiency, so that's 17, and then adding a tap bonus, so that's 17. So it's 22.
Yep. You swing with your scimitar directly in the chest of this goblin. This goblin does not know what's hitting him, and he's dead. He's writhing in pain on the ground as blood gushes from his very last wounds. So I'm going to put him over here for now, so you know that he's dead. And I think that's the end of your turn.
Yay.
Let's see. Next up is this red goblin. This red goblin is very angry that wasn't real jewelry. He looks at the party and assumes it's the character who is closest to him, which is Boo. So this goblin starts moving to Boo and swings with his short sword. And that's a hit. So he's striking directly at your midsection and strikes you for 2 points of slashing damage on your midsection. It's screaming something in Goblin. It sounds like, I got you. Simon, you're up next.
Okay, I'd like to stab the goblin who's directly in front of me with my dagger.
Okay, go for it. Roll d20.
Alright. I got 18.
Go ahead and roll for damage. That's gonna hit.
Okay, so that's with a dagger, that's 1d4. And that's 4.
That's enough. So with your dagger, you manage to dispatch another goblin. It falls directly to the floor. His feet are twitching. You must have hit a nerve with your weapon. So we're going to leave him over here for now. Out of the way. Simon, I think that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Next up is Nyx.
Okay. Nyx I don't know if I should cast Bonfire again or if I should use my sling. I think I'm gonna try casting Bonfire. What's my modifier?
I think it's a druid is. I want to say wisdom.
And do I get extra stuff for being behind the wall?
Not an attack bonus. Your armor class is added by 2.
Okay.
And if you get hit by an enemy, the damage is by half.
Okay. So I will cast Bonfire then on the same armored goblin that evaded me last time because he.
So the same one that Boo also just struck for a bunch of hit points, right?
I was gonna aim for the one on top, but yeah, Boo's surrounded, so I'll go for the one in front of Boo.
One from Boo. Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
Because it won't hit Boo if I manage to do it, will it?
No, because it's only a 5x5 cube.
Right. Okay. Cool. Ouch. 11.
Yeah, you miss. So, the area is on fire, and the goblin does a shifty move and jumps away from the fire.
Can I use a bonus action because I have a bonus action for two-handed weapon fighting, and can I then use my dagger?
Does that only work if you use one in the first round?
I don't know. It says. Oh, yes, you are right.
Yeah. Is that the end of your turn then?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So the goblin chief hasn't been hurt at all. He's getting quite perturbed about you knocking out the rest of his army. He's going to start moving in this direction. This guy is going to go here. And Boo, it's now your turn.
Okay. Wait, is the fire still in front of me?
Yeah, there.
Okay, yeah, okay. This may be a bit, not like how the game works, but I wanted to run it by you first.
Let's hear it.
So I'm gonna take my sword and hit the goblin. Okay. I didn't know if you just left.
I did, but I'm here.
I'm gonna take the sword and swing it to the red one in a way where it like gets into the fire and hits the red one.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to roll a dexterity check first, and then your attack roll.
Yeah, I'm good at those. That is a 13.
13 dexterity check? Okay, so your blade manages to catch some of the fire. And now could you roll your attack roll?
Oh, okay. That's 17.
17 hits. Could you roll for damage?
Yup. Ooh, that's the math work. 13 damage on that one.
So, you swing your sword that's on fire into the goblin, kind of chopping it up in the process. It is definitely dead, and its body is lifeless and not moving anymore. So we're going to move his carcass over to here for now. And Boo, I believe that's the end of your turn.
Yup.
Punkin says, I want to fight! Punkin moves one.
Bob, no.
Start the top of the next round, and this goblin is going to move here. And try to hit Boo with his sword. He's aiming at your legs, trying to avoid the fire, and he misses. So that's the end of his turn. Next to act is this goblin who you almost murdered earlier. He's going to strike at Boo with his sword. And he hits for 4 points of slashing damage. Ah! He's screaming something in Goblin again. Ah!
I'm gonna have to heal myself.
Okay. Next to act is Sibo.
Okay. Let's see. Can I attack the goblin who's almost dead near
That's this one?
Boo?
You can.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my bow and then aim at his throat.
Let's do it. Go ahead and roll the d20. Oh, right for the throat.
I got 17.
17, that's a hit. Sibo, let's take it down. Roll damage.
Okay. 7.
7. Your arrow cleanly goes right to the throat of this goblin. He cannot even speak, but you see his eyes are stunned as he falls to the ground and drops his sword.
Yay.
We'll move him over here for now. And Sibo, that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Next to act is actually this. No, this goblin is dead, which means it's Simon's turn.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'd like to go at the guy in the corner with a slingshot again.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
Alright, I got a 10, so with my proficiency, that'd be 12.
You just missed with your slingshot. You might want to think of another course of action. And I think that's the end of your turn. Nyx, you're up next.
Nyx runs around Pumpkin to go in front of her. And then why not cast Create Bonfire again at this armored goblin who is not dying.
Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
Do you only have cast Bonfire?
No, but I don't want. It's my best ranged weapon.
Fair enough.
13. Because all of my weapons deal only 1d4, but this will deal 1d8.
13 is enough to hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Yes. Finally. 7.
7. And that's with bonfire?
Yes.
So, you set this goblin on fire. He's burning and screaming something in goblin that you can't understand, and he starts glaring at you, ready to attack you on his next turn. The goblin chief is going to move next. Over here. This guy's going to follow him. They're there. It's now... Nyx just went, so... Boo, it's your turn.
Cool. I'm going to hit the one that's right in the same place as the other one that just died.
Yep.
With my longsword again.
Let's do it.
Ooh, that's a 25 to hit.
Ooh. Did you roll a natural 20?
No, I was a 19.
Okay, that's excellent. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Yup. God dang it. That's 7.
You managed to strike with your sword directly into the skin and pierce the goblin with your mighty blow. So well done on that.
As a bonus action, real quick, I'm gonna second wind myself, so I'm back to full health now.
Great move. I believe that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Punkin says, I want to fight. She moves over here. That's as far as she can get. And that's the end of round 4. It's now the top of round 5. And this goblin, very angry about being struck by Boo, swings with his sword at Boo's arm that's holding his sword at the moment. And totally misses. And manages to swing his sword at the ground. This goblin is very upset at himself. Sibo, your next act.
Can I see and observe a goblin chief?
You can see the
am?
goblin chief. You can attack the goblin chief with your bow from where you are.
Let's see. Yep, I am going to attack. So,
Okay.
I am going to use my longbow and aim at his legs.
Okay. Roll d20.
Ooh, So I got 19 from dice, adding 2, so that is 21, and
hit.
So
Go ahead and roll damage.
26. 4.
So you aim right at his legs and you get him right in the shin. And it screams. It actually screams at you in common and says, "Who do you think you are?" It is now this goblin's turn to act. This goblin's going to move over to where Punkin is and swing his sword at Punkin and hits. Punkin is knocked out, unconscious. She'll need to death save to come back or get healed.
This is what I told you.
And that's the end of that
A
goblin's
child
turn.
into a battle fight.
She doesn't even know what hit her. Simon, it's now your turn.
Okay, I'd like to move down 1, then over 3, then down 2, and then cast Burning Hands at
On
the
what?
goblin and his friend. The goblin chief and friend. It's like a cone, so I don't know if it's like a 15-foot cone.
Yeah, you can hit them both. Go ahead and roll d20.
Okay, d20. Okay, I got 15.
15. Okay, so they need to make a dexterity saving throw actually against you. What's your spell bonus?
Spell bonus. I don't know where that would be.
Might be under page 2. So they need to do a saving throw against your spell.
Okay. Yeah, they do need to do a dexterity saving throw. And I know that it's a 3d6 fire damage on
That's
a
right.
failed save and half on a successful save.
So
But I
Simon, neither goblin makes their saving throw. Go ahead and roll 3d6 damage.
Okay, so does that mean I roll 3d6, or do I roll a 3d6 and then multiply it? Sorry, or do I roll a d6 and multiply it by 3?
Whichever you prefer.
Okay. I'll roll 1 and we'll see what happens.
We'll multiply it.
Yes. Okay, so I got 3, so that would be 9.
9 on both. Okay, so wow. The goblin chief says to you, "Pathetic," whereas the other goblin says, "Boss, I'm hurt," and he's speaking in common, so you can understand it.
Okay.
And Simon, I think that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Nyx, it's now on you.
Okay, well, this guy cannot just hit Punkin. I'm going to head over to the goblin and stab at him with a dagger. 19.
That's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. Woo.
Doing 3 damage. Wait, and if I'm proficient in the weapon, do I add another 2?
No, that's
No.
just for the attack roll.
Ah, okay, cool.
3 damage, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So, and this, remind me, what weapon was this?
Dagger.
Dagger. So you strike him with your dagger. You can tell from his wounds that he's very nearly dead. He says something to you in Goblin. That ends your turn.
Wait, I'm gonna use my bonus action? Because
yeah.
I could use a melee weapon, I'm gonna use it again.
Let's do it. We'll go ahead and roll. Nice. Nice move.
Thank you. 11.
11 is not enough.
Dang it.
It's now the Goblin Chief's turn. The Goblin Chief takes out his short bow and aims at Sibo because Sibo hit him earlier. He says in common, "You're going down."
No!
What's your armor class, Sibo?
18.
He just hits. He strikes you for 6 points of piercing damage with his arrow. That ends his turn. This guy is going to move over here. That ends his turn. Boo, you're up next.
Cool. I'm gonna hit the goblin that I've been hitting for a bit.
Let's get him.
That's a 12.
Just missed.
Dang.
Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn, yeah.
Punkin is rolling for death saves now. She makes the first one, so she's slowly recovering, and that's the end of her turn. It is now round 7, and the goblin that Boo hit, he's first to act. He says in English, "Enough's enough."
I agree. Please die.
And he swings at you with his sword, and once again manages to only strike the ground. Not very good with the sword. Sibo, it's your turn next.
So I have a question. Can I do a cantrip and then attack, or do I have to choose
Only if it's a
one?
bonus action. I don't know that your character has that bonus action yet.
Yeah, I don't think my character does have bonus actions.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I apologize. Actually, Sibo, you were behind the wall. You didn't take 4 points. You only took 2 points of damage when the goblin did you. I forgot you were behind. I forgot you were behind the wall.
Wait, so then the goblin chief, did he hit 6 damage or only 3?
On who?
On Sibo, because the goblin chief aimed for Sibo.
Only 3. Yeah, I'm sorry. Only 3. So you can go ahead and add back 3 hit points. That's my mistake.
Okay. Can I hide behind? So I'm gonna be 2 tiles behind Boo.
You can move here. Yes.
And no, like one behind. So right behind. So the angle is, I'm still behind the wall if the chief is attacking me.
You are still behind the wall. That's right, and you can still have a direct line of eyesight to the chief if you want to hit the chief.
Okay. And I want to impair his vision.
Okay.
So I'm gonna aim longbow at his left eye.
At the left eye, let's do it.
I got 27.
That's hits, so you can roll for damage.
And it's 4.
He screams at you. What is this? And that's the end of your turn. Alright, so it is now this guy who's slightly on fire's turn. He's going to try to use his sword. Nyx. Yeah, he's behaving very similar to the other goblin. He's not hitting. He manages to throw his sword in the wrong direction. He curses at himself. That's the end of his turn. Simon, you're up next.
Okay, I would like to hit Mr. Goblin Chief with Magic Missile.
Okay.
Yay!
So he needs to do a saving throw?
Yeah, let's see. The first level spell conjures a missile equivalent to a magical arrow that deals 1d6 plus 1 damage to any creature it strikes. So I don't know if he can do a saving throw.
No, he can't save against magic missile. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, damage. Okay, I got 5, so plus 1, that should be 6.
And it's actually 3 darts, so you're aiming all 3 darts at the chief, yes?
Well, I don't think I'm close. Yeah, all 3 darts at the chief.
Yeah, you're close enough to do that.
Okay.
You managed to strike the chief one after another with 3 missiles. He looks completely stunned and bloodied. He's got wounds all over his neck from the missile damage, and he says, "I would never surrender to a party like you."
He doesn't need to surrender. We just need to kill him.
Exactly.
Nyx, you're up next.
Nyx will again do the 2 dagger slashes at this armored goblin.
Let's do it.
So, first she has a nat 20.
Okay, so that will be double damage, actually.
Oh,
So
wow.
Go ahead and roll your damage, and we'll count it for twice.
5. Counting twice is 10.
And you managed to take out this goblin that's slightly on fire, that hurt your friend Punkin. So he's dead and writhing on the ground. Is that the end of your turn, or do you get to use your other action?
I have a bonus action, which is to... Oh, well, I mean, if I just use that as my bonus action and use that first,
Yep.
then I suppose I will run... Oh, I'm going to feed Punkin
Mm-hmm.
the 2 good berries I have left,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't suppose that counts for an action, so I'll run down towards Boo, and the fires only last a minute, so can I then hit this armored goblin that's assailing him?
Well, the fire's still going, so
I don't
Can
want to
you
run through fire.
so you want to go here?
Yes, and can I throw a dagger?
Yeah, you can throw your dagger. It's you add your dexterity bonus if you have one.
Ooh, yay. Cool. So... Oh, not so great. Total of 7.
Okay, it's not enough,
Dang it.
but you still killed a goblin.
Woo!
So it's 3 goblins left. It's the goblin chief's turn. He's gonna ready his bow and aim it directly at Nyx.
What?
No.
Hits for 7 points of damage with his arrow. How does that feel? He says in common. I didn't know there were 4 of you here.
Barely a scratch.
This next goblin says in common, Boss, I'm gonna take him out on the side. And he moves towards Sibo. Boo, it's now your turn.
Cool. One more hit, hopefully, to the goblin that's right next to me.
I think it's 1 more hit.
Yeah. That's the same number as before, so I'm gonna assume that doesn't hit.
What is it?
It's 12 again.
Yeah, you just under.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your turn?
Someone please kill this thing. I don't want to stand here and just like swing my sword every.
I'm trying! I tried!
Punkin is now stabilized, and she decides to not move this round. Alright, folks, it's now the start of round 8. This goblin's gonna attack Boo and said, I'm gonna get you finally, I hope. And he hits!
Woo, let's go.
5 points of piercing damage. How's that? He says in common.
So it's okay, I guess. I mean, it's fine.
Sibo, it's your turn.
I still have the wall there, right, in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
You can move also. You have plenty of space to move if you want to move somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try longbow again to the chief.
Okay, let's do it.
This time I'm gonna aim at his heart.
At his heart. Let's see what happens.
I got 24.
Okay, please roll for damage. Damn, that's a strike.
I got 6.
You strike your arrow directly at his heart. It hits him and he falls to the ground, completely stunned. He is not dead. And he looks at you and says, A gnome tried to murder me? Never. But he's clearly still stunned and unable to stand up at this moment. So he's knocked out, not yet dead. Simon, it's your turn.
Okay, I would like to move down 1 and then over so I'm right next to the goblin that was threatening Sibo. And then I'd like to stab it with my dagger.
So the chief.
No, the armored small guy. Chief Henchman.
Over here?
Yeah. I think I have enough.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Okay.
So, roll. Okay, I got 18.
That hits.
And I do 1d4, so... Oh, I get 4. Oh, nice.
Okay, you manage to strike him. He kind of like rubs at the wound and barks at you. Nix, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm down 1 dagger because I threw it.
That's right.
So I'll use a sling because I don't want to lose my second dagger. And I will aim for the goblin assaulting Boo.
Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
Okay. 10.
So you aim with your sling and the rock manages to go right above his head, and you miss.
This goblin,
This goblin has like 9 lives.
This goblin chief decides to stand up and says, "This isn't done." He walks over to Simon and swings at Simon with his short sword.
Oh no.
It hits for 7 points of damage. Simon, how you feeling?
Well, I think that's the first damage I've gotten, so that'd be 7, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
He looks at you and says, just as I thought. This guy then decides to also strike Simon.
I'm dead.
And misses with his sword, once again, aiming in the complete opposite direction. Boo, it's now your turn.
Cool. Hit goblin.
Yeah.
For the third.
For the 3rd time. Oh no.
That's a 12 again?
So once again, you get oh so close. But the sword just does not connect.
This singular goblin is going to be the final boss of the campaign, and it's every attack against him is just going to miss. That's his power.
Okay.
He can't hit you either. Punkin says, I should probably not fight. I'm gonna go hide.
Thank God, Pumpkin. Get out of here.
She goes to hide behind the wall. It is now round 9.
Wait, can I go?
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally skipped Nick. Nix, go ahead. I'll get you back in the next order. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. I'm going to slingshot again at the guy because I don't know that anything else. I mean, I could create bonfire.
What do you think is going to be more effective? Up to you.
There's
fires everywhere.
Sure, I'll create bonfire because then it'll make another wall between us and the goblin guy.
All right.
And that's a wisdom. Okay. 16.
16 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
4.
You start a fire directly on this goblin and it bursts into flames in common, shouting, "You fools!" And he rolls over dead. So I'm going to move his body off the battlefield for now. Well done, Nix.
He's dead.
Finally!
Let's go.
I hated that goblin. He should have died. He should have died earlier, I mean.
It's now the start of round 9. Stebo, you go first.
Can I get some backup over here on Mr. Goblin Chief?
You're surrounded.
I know.
Is the goblin chief almost dead?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he was
when you knocked him down
and,
earlier, when you knocked him down earlier, it looked like he was about to fall over. So he's almost dead.
Okay. I'm gonna use my bow to finish him.
Okay, let's do it.
Alright. I got 19.
That hits. Please roll for damage. Let's see if it's enough.
5!
He says, Tarple will never go down like this! Ah! The arrow manages to hit him directly in a sore spot, and the goblin chief falls over dead.
Yay!
Nice.
Finally.
The last goblin decides to run away, but it's actually Simon's turn to go first.
Okay, can I stab him again?
You can stab him.
Alright, I want to stab him again.
Go ahead and roll d20.
So I got 17.
You hit.
I get 4 again. This
Yeah.
is not right.
So you strike him for 4 damage. He says to you in common, "I'm staying alive, Sonny." It's now Nyx's turn. This goblin, while Nyx prepares her action, this goblin says, "Please spare me. Please spare me. I'll tell you anything you want to know."
Will you give me all your money and stuff if I spare you?
No, I said I'll tell you what I know, not give you all my money.
Why not?
Nyx, it's your turn.
Not good enough of a reason. Can I hit that
Wait, no, we
goblin
could get stuff from.
with a bonfire again?
You can throw a bonfire between these walls and try to hit it. Yeah. Roll d20.
But
I'm going to have you roll it at disadvantage because the angle is very odd. So you're going to roll the d20 twice and take the worst of the 2 rolls.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I don't need to roll a second time because I rolled a nat 1. So
Oh.
I think
Yeah.
I miss.
So the bonfire misses. But the first one is about to... The very first bonfire that you cast is almost about to go out.
Yay!
Boo, it's now your turn.
Okay, cool.
Well, hold on. Tell him if he's... I'll say... Oh, yes, sorry. Go ahead, Boo.
Should we spare him or should I just go and kill him?
Well, see, this is what I figured, right? If we spare him and tie him up, we can still take all his stuff.
It's up
That
to
is
Boo.
true.
It's up to Boo.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over and grapple him.
Okay. Is that a dexterity or strength check?
I think strength. It could be
Strength
dexterity
too.
though.
Yeah, I think grappling is strength.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
That is 11 to my strength.
It's enough. You also have a height advantage on this goblin. So you manage to grapple him to the ground, and he says, "Human, what do you want?"
I'm an elf.
Oh, elf! What do you want? You all look the same to me. I don't know.
Fair enough. Give me everything you know and your money.
What?
I mean, like general information. Like,
Hold on. Don't ask for the money. We can tie him up and get the money later.
no, yeah, I was gonna say, give me your money too, but I'll take that anyway.
I'll give you all the money I have here.
Okay, cool. How much do you have?
Hands you 6 coppers and 8 gold pieces.
Ooh. Oh, I wrote my.
Isn't this enough? Let me go.
No. I also want to know what y'all were doing with that bear and these halflings. Well, I mean, you were most likely eating them, but like, give me more info.
So at this point, the party sees that all the other goblins have died, so they've crowded around this last goblin to kind of investigate the situation. Okay. All that I know is that those halflings were cheating us. They were coming up with all kinds of new boats and ways to fish that they were taking away from us. So we thought of a clever way to get back at them by tricking Smiley Bob. And that's what we did.
Nice.
Then
Can
we
I
ate,
roll?
and then we ate Happy, and
That's
we would have
the-
eaten Pumpkin too if she didn't pop out here with that sword.
If it weren't for meddling kids and your
Yes.
giant bear.
Pumpkin says, "I love meddling kids. Meddling kids saved Pumpkin's life."
Exactly. Good way to think, Pumpkin.
Can I loot Mr. Goblin Chief and split the proceeds with Sibo?
Wait,
With Sibo.
Yeah, because
so-
it was mostly him and I who killed it. So,
The chief, you said.
Yes, the chief.
Okay, give me a second. What are the rest of you doing?
Well, I feel like, can I go loot the 2 guys that I killed?
Yep. So all of you who threw daggers, you retrieve your daggers. Nyx, you find a light shield and 2 additional daggers and a short sword that are all still usable. Boo, on that goblin that was giving you trouble earlier, you find a short sword that's still usable.
Cool.
Nyx, you also find 9 gold coins. Nyx. Boo, you also find an additional 4 gold coins. Okay, so Simon and Sibo are splitting the treasure from the goblin chief.
And then I've got one more guy who's like one of the red guys in the upper corner.
So you find a short sword that still works. You find a short bow that is still functional, and a quiver of 18 arrows that all still seem quite usable. On on the chief's body, you also see a key that is not attached to any ring or anything. He also has a magical scroll.
Can I get in on the magic scroll, por favor?
Well, you want to talk to Sibo about that, right?
Yeah, I'm asking Sibo, but he's busy.
Yeah, so what's the other one? So he got key, short bow with 18 arrows in the quiver.
Yep.
Magical scroll, and what's the other one? It was like
short sword.
Was it short sword?
Mm-hmm.
I figure the key is probably to the chest, so we might want to split the chest equally, but if it's not, then whoever gets, I don't know, There's also the fish on the side, and if you give me a moment, I'm also going to award experience points. So keep talking and strategizing. I'm going to just need to add this up. Okay, so Sibo, would you mind if I got the scroll and then one of the weapons? And if you want, you can have the key and the other weapon?
So I can give you a magical scroll and the short sword. I'll get the key, bow with 18 arrows, and then, I can, do that.
All right, sounds good. And just a quick question, Matt. Do I get anything from the guy I killed, the other goblin, who was red at the beginning?
Nope.
The one I stabbed? Nope? Okay.
Nope.
Sounds good.
Okay, I need
also, Matt.
Yes.
Are there any treasures, gold, or anything on the chief? Or is that it?
Only the weapons and small objects that you found. You don't find any additional gold.
Also, I killed one goblin, the regular goblin, and I also killed one armored goblin. What do I get from those 2?
From the goblin, you find 3 copper pieces and 7 gold pieces.
Nice.
Everybody in the party is awarded 195 experience points.
Awesome.
How much does that add up to? Wait.
I don't know.
Okay.
So if anybody's at 300, you're going to be at level 2, and we'll.
How much was that? 195.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 5.
270.
Damn, right under.
Really close. Okay.
270.
Probably like 1 or 2 more things you need to do, and we'll get there.
Yeah, I have 270 as well.
Okay. What else would you like to do next?
I have a question. So, what about the armored goblin? Does he have anything?
Nothing left that's usable. There's too much blood on some of his body armor, and some of the missed weapons, every time they threw them to the ground, it sort of bent the metal quite out of shape, so they're no longer usable.
Okay.
Was it true that there were barrels closer to the water?
There was one big barrel full of fish closer to the water, and a bunch of fish on a pole, also closer to the water.
Do you guys want to haul the fish back? We can probably bring it back to the halflings or like eat for.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
And we do need food, so.
Also, I have a question.
That's raw
Okay.
fish.
So, can Sibo eat one of the fish and regain his strength, his health back?
You can
Not
use
from
the
just eating
fire
fish.
fish,
You
Brian.
probably need to take a long sleep, which you can do at night.
Okay.
At the end of this quest.
Yeah,
At
and
the
that's,
end of this day.
that's like raw fish.
If you guys
My
would like,
favorite.
I've got 2 spell slots left, I think. Unless, wait, did I already use one for Goodberry so far? Yeah, I think I did.
Use one good berry, yeah.
So I've got a second spell slot, and I can do another Goodberry and just dish some of those out so that none of us are near death.
Mm. How
So
many?
hold on. So I may be incorrect, but I think I was under the impression that I can only use each spell once. I did not realize there was a spell slot.
It's a slot, yeah. Which
2
means
max.
you could use a single spell, up to that many times. So if you have 2 spell slots, you could use the same spell twice.
Okay, so I guess I should look that up.
Yeah, no, now we know. It's okay.
Wait, so spell slots, is that the max number of spells you can cast, or is that the max number of times you can cast a single spell?
That's the
It's-
max number you can cast right now. Because you might know more spells than you can cast.
Okay.
That's possible.
So that's the total number of spells that you can cast before a long sleep.
Before a long sleep, correct.
Okay. Cool. So I'll cast my second spell, Goodberry. And I now have 10 good berries. What's everyone's damage level or HP level?
I have 7, I think.
I have 6.
So one thing each character could also do is use a hit die, and if you spend your hit die now, you can replenish hit points from that.
Cool. I'm gonna do that because
So
that's.
I would suggest you roll a hit die first if you want to do that. Then you get those hit points back.
Dang.
Then once you sleep, you'll get the hit die back.
What's a hit dice?
So at level 1, every character has 1 hit die, which you can spend after a long battle or at a rest during the day to replenish hit points. So if you have 1d6, that means you just roll that 1d6 and you get that back to your hit points. Once you take a long rest, you get that hit die back, so you could use it again the next day.
So it's a 1d6?
Every character is different.
Oh.
Every class is different.
Okay, so I rolled my hit die. I have 4 now. Nix, would you be willing to give me a couple of those berries of yours?
I want to see where everyone is because I feel like Punkin is probably suffering the most
Probably
right
needs
now.
More, yeah.
Oh yeah,
But-
she's good.
I'm really hurt, guys. I
Okay,
tried to fight.
you
I
did.
tried to be brave.
You were very brave. You were very brave.
You are brave and yet stupid at the same time. Please
What?
never do that again.
Also true.
You're
Where
right.
Where can I find my hit dice?
It's usually on the sheet next to hit points, but you're gonna have 1 hit die because I know you haven't used it yet.
Yeah, because I'm using the interactive website thing. I'm trying to find it.
So a druid has 1d8 for their hit dice.
Ooh.
So if you use it now, you just roll that d8, and then when you go to sleep, you'll get that hit die back.
Oh, cool. Yes, I got 8.
So Simon already rolled. Boo already rolled. Sibo, are you using a hit die?
I just used it and I got 9, so I replenished all of my damage. So
Great.
I'm at full health.
Okay.
I got 8, and so I replenished, and I'm at full health as well. So what's the hit point level of everyone now?
8.
I'm 4 down.
I'm 8.
So if we were role-playing this, you might just say, who's really hurt right now? And then you
Okay.
can kind of detect from what people are telling you.
Pumpkin, how are you feeling?
Pretty embarrassed.
There is a saying that cowards are master survivalists. You might want to remember that one.
Well, I survived being kidnapped, and I survived being attacked. So that makes me a master survivalist, maybe.
Okay. Sibo you seem to be fine. I'll hand.
Yes.
I suppose you can have 4 good berries, Simon,
Thank
and
you so much.
2, 4, however many you need. I suppose I'll just let you guys take what you need because I honestly can't tell.
Can I have 3? Can I have 3?
You can have 3.
Thank you.
That leaves 3.
This is such simple math, and I can't do it. I'll take those 3. Still down 1. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Punkin pops the berries and heals up. She's very happy.
Good for you, Pumpkin. Good for you, Pumpkin.
So what are we gonna do with all these bodies?
Leave them there?
I can burn them.
Yeah, I can join in the burning.
Some of those fires are still burning. Should we move these bodies to the fires?
Sure.
For now.
I hope a burnt goblin doesn't smell bad.
Probably will. Burnt flesh generally smells bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think burning their bodies is a good choice because what if they had a relatives that just runs around and just see their body running around, and then they can come at anybody else. So we should clean the trace
Good
in
idea.
general.
All right, so you move all the bodies over to the fires. They are engulfed in flames. It smells awful. And things are kind of like crackling and falling apart. What do you do now?
I feel
I
like
can call the fish if you want back to the windmill because we still need to open that chest.
yeah,
Yeah.
we should head out.
Yeah, let's take the fish and get out of here to the mill.
Okay. So as a group,
Sounds
you kind of
good.
like dust off. You feel much more replenished and healed up, and you walk back to the old windmill. And I assume you go up to the second floor to check out the chest. Who
Yep.
has the
Yes.
key?
I have the key.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to open it with it. Does it open?
Can you make a dexterity check, please? This is a very unusually shaped key that you haven't quite seen before. Probably crafted by goblins.
Wait, you might want to give it to me because I got a +4 in dexterity.
Well,
I have +3, and I don't know if that will be enough. But
Never mind, it'll be fine. Be fine.
more than one of you could try it.
That's true.
Okay, so is it D20?
Roll a d20 and then add your dexterity bonus or penalty.
And do I add my proficiency too or no?
No.
Okay, so only dexterity. So I get 12.
Okay. So you manage to get the key partway in, but it doesn't quite turn in the direction that you expect it to turn in. Perhaps somebody a little more dexterous could determine how to use this goblin key. So you're pretty sure this is the correct key, but just not how to quite put it in the chest hole.
Boo, help!
Yeah, I'm helping.
Okay. Who do you want to make a dexterity check?
Dexterity check. Oh my god. That's a 13.
Boo manages to perform with the key exactly how Sibo was, and finds that it's getting stuck and not quite moving in the direction that he expected it to move in.
Dang.
Punkin
Anyone else
says,
want to try?
"I'll try. Will you let me try?"
Go ahead, don't get yourself killed, please.
Come on, just, like double
Try to
check.
open it.
He hobbles over.
Watch this be a mimic.
Punkin says, "I can't do it. I try so hard and I just can't do anything right."
It's okay. It's okay. We're just glad you're here.
Look, you can do some things right. Clearly, adventuring is the one thing you can't do right. But it's probably something else.
I hope so. I wanted to be an adventurer, but
Okay.
I'm not so good at it.
sorry. Sorry for dashing your dreams. My bad.
She holds the key back at the party and says, "Does someone else want to try?"
Can I inspect the back of the chest and see if there are hinges with visible like screws on
Yeah.
the?
Roll an investigation check.
Okay,
D20.
investigation. Oh, I have a +3. Wonderful. Okay, so what die am I rolling?
D20.
Okay, so I get 14.
And so you don't find any unusual markings, but by inspecting the key a second time, you think you've discovered what the trick is to how to rotate it.
Okay.
Oh. So
Simon, what do
Can
you do?
Can I try in the chest?
Yeah, go roll a dexterity check.
Okay, I have an atrocious dexterity, so that's
Doesn't matter.
20, right?
Yep.
Okay, I got 15.
Simon miraculously rotates the key in such a perfect way to pop open the top of the chest. And inside you find several costumes of what looks like halflings, like halfling costumes that would fit on a goblin. You find about 4 different costumes. Underneath the costumes, you find about 80 rocks that would be good to use a slingshot with. And that's about it.
Okay, so they're clearly planning some sort of ambush on the halflings.
Mm-hmm.
Punkin says, that's not good.
Can I ask some of that ammo? For
What's
the
that?
slingshot? Can I ask
Yeah,
those?
go take some ammo. Go ahead.
Can I
Any
use
rocks you need
two-
for slingshot ammo, go ahead and take them. There's plenty.
Alright, I'll take 10. It's probably as much as I can carry.
I guess I'll grab the goblin, or not the goblin clothes, the halfling clothes.
Okay.
And hopefully I can bring them back for money.
Okay.
I'll take 20 of those rocks.
Punkin says, it's kind of getting dark, everyone. Can we go back home now? I miss my family.
Sure.
Let's. Is that okay with you guys?
Head out.
Can I do
Yeah.
a perception check to see if there's anywhere else where some kind of loot might be hidden?
Tell me where you're looking.
Around the 2nd floor.
Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
Oh, wow. Kind of sad. A 6?
Okay, so passive perception is like a 10, I'm assuming?
Passive perception is a 14.
So you do not detect any hidden doors or traps or anything like that on the 2nd floor.
So
Says
we
I
are
agree.
carrying the fish that we got from the battlefield.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we're also, who has Happy's ashes or bones?
I
I
don't
think
remember.
Simon does, right?
Oh, yes, you're right.
Okay, so Simon, you have the ash and bones of Happy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so let's go back to the village, shall we?
Yeah.
Sure.
So it takes you about half an hour to walk back to the intersection with the main road, the eastern road, and then another 15 odd minutes to get back to the halfling village. And as you approach, you notice a number of halflings are out, already with bonfires, preparing the night's dinner, when a little girl spots the party and says, Punkin, is that you? And immediately runs over to Punkin and gives her a huge hug. And Punkin says, yeah, I'm here. I'm alive. They saved me. So immediately, there's a huge clamor, and the halflings are yelling at one another, saying, Punkin's alive. Punkin's alive. Did you say Punkin's alive? So one by one, the halflings all come out. They see that you have also brought fish, and Gerard, the elder, walks up to you, extends his hand in salutation and gratitude, and says, my word, I did not expect this to happen, but thank you so much for rescuing our little pumpkin rock hugger. Tell me what happened.
Goblin.
So,
Goblin. I like that we all talked at the same time. We were all waiting for someone to say something.
Pause, and then everyone.
So goblins got Smiley, and I guess they convinced him to steal children. And
They
then
were
they.
Sorry, go on.
No, you can go. I didn't have much else to say.
Dix, why don't you speak for us?
I was just gonna add that they were frustrated. The goblins caught one of them at the end, and he said that they'd done it because they were frustrated with your technological advancements that were making their own things, like fishing with a pole instead of with a boat, outdated. And so that was the reason for their anger. And there ended up being a total of 14 goblins, 13 minions plus a chief that
Ooh.
had banded together to capture Happy and Punkin. And in and of himself, Smiley Bob seemed very unhappy to be there and rather disappointed with his own participation. So it's unlikely that he'll do something like this in the future without the temptation of fish.
Oh no. And where did Smiley Bob go?
That's a good question.
I'm guessing we just left him in the lighthouse
The,
where we last saw him.
I'm
So you
pretty sure
didn't see him when you came back with the fish, by the way. So he wasn't there.
we have no idea. He was at the windmill when we were there, and we came back about, I'd say, 30 minutes to an hour later, and he was no longer there. So his current whereabouts are unknown.
It's terrible. Well, I hope he turns up one of these days, and I hope he realizes we never meant him any harm.
I don't think you ought to be worried about that. He did. It was not. It was one of those like, we'll give you fish if you steal children. Nothing at all. Because you guys hurt him or anything. No.
So you see that Punkin reunites with her father, and she says, "Daddy, Daddy, I was an adventurer today." And the halfling's father looks at her, gives her a huge hug, and looks at you and says, "You four wait here. We collected a treasure for you, and I cannot express how much gratitude I have for you bringing back my dear Punkin." And the father and Punkin go back to their home. Meanwhile, Gerard says to all of you, and have to tell you that when we met you, we thought you would be able to solve this mystery. And so we took a collection, and we have some gifts for you. Do you mind? I'll ask my wife to fetch the bag.
Oh no, not at all. But there's one other thing. We discovered that Happy had been killed by the goblins, and we have his remains with us here, if you would like.
We
If
would.
possible.
I'll have to tell his family. This is really sad.
Could we join in the service for him or whatever else you do?
Perhaps we will prepare that. I will ask the family what their wishes are and let you know. You know, us halflings are quite hospitable, so I don't know if you have any plans for the evening, but we prepared some beds for all of you, so you're welcome to spend the night here. Free of
Thank
charge, of course.
So much.
It would
And
be much
Also,
And we know some really good fish recipes. We're happy to cook dinner for you as well. Roast fish? Anyone?
Yes.
Sure, I'll take it.
sure.
As long as it's
Sounds good.
sweet.
Okay,
Also,
you four wait here
I-
by the bonfire. I'll get my wife, and we have a bag of loot to bring to all of you. Just wait here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Gerard's wife comes back with a small bag, and she's kind of hobbling over, and she says, "My goodness, thank you for doing all that you've done for our village. We are surprised and happy, and in gratitude, we have this to offer you." And you look into the bag. Inside, you find one cleric scroll. You find one wizard scroll. You find one potion of strength. You find one potion of healing. You find 70 gold pieces. And you find 4 gems. Giselle, who is Gerard's wife, says, "This is all we could manage to get together at such short notice. I hope this expresses enough of our gratitude to you for all that you've done. And thank you again." And she says, we'll work on preparing your beds. And a bath, too, if any of you want to take a bath. I see some of you are quite bloody from whatever happened earlier. Yeah?
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah?
We'll
Okay,
take bath.
follow me. So she takes you to a corner of the hill where they have some outdoor baths set up in wooden vats. And she says, "Don't worry, we'll take care of all your stuff. We'll polish your silver. just relax, and we'll have dinner prepared for you in a little bit.
Wait 1 second.
Yeah.
Y'all want these halfling clothes? The goblins had them.
I don't know if there's anything that we can do with them. Maybe you could hold on to them. Or I'll
Okay.
ask my husband.
Okay, yeah.
So,
In gratitude, for rescuing Punkin and bringing her and the fish back to the community, all characters have also received a 110 experience point bonus.
nice. So that would be
380.
yes. What he said.
So I think probably everybody's going to be at level 2. We just need to go to a town where you can train to go to level 2.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay, so you've all kind of cleaned up from having a pre-dinner bath. It's getting to be around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. The sun is already set. There's lots of halflings walking around and a crackling bonfire. The fish smells amazing. What do you do?
Well, so do you guys want to divide up the treasure now? Or...
Yeah, let's split that up real quick.
Yeah, okay, so I calculated for the gold, we should each get 70 golds and 5 silver split 4 ways.
17 gold and 5 silver. Okay.
Yes.
Wait. Hang on.
17 gold and 5 silver.
Yes.
Sounds right.
Oh, okay. 17 gold and 5 silver.
So the wizard is also good at math.
Cool.
I have a calculator.
But the wizard, that's Samara, but the wizard seems to also be good at math. Is that right?
The wizard is also good at math.
Okay.
And I suggest we give Simon the wizard scroll and the cleric scroll, like, because they're going to make the most use of it. And then, well, I don't know, who would use the cleric scroll the best?
You could sell it.
You tell it.
I have a question. So, what does Potion of Strength and Potion of Healing do? So, I guess healing would do, like, how much does it heal? Is it full health or...
You have to roll dice to determine how much it heals.
Got it. And what about Strength?
It increases your strength temporarily, usually enough for one battle.
But I mean,
Okay.
I am also working on creating a library. So the cleric scroll is still useful if, for instance, I was to write a book on cleric spells to go in like a dictionary, something like that.
Okay, but you could sell it for way more money though. Like, we got this for killing like a couple goblins. This could be worth way more than all that effort.
We got different goals, man. We got different goals. I'm sorry.
So
I-
Simon, if Simon does not have an identify spell, Simon will need to take these scrolls to somebody who can tell him what the spell is on each scroll. And if it happens to be a scroll for a spell that's a wizard spell that Simon doesn't have, Simon can then transcribe that scroll to his wizard book and then always have that spell.
Mm-hmm. And also, I guess, presumably, we each get 1 gem, right?
Yeah. That's,
So- Since I came from a jeweler's family, can I appraise the gems?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you make? You need to make a check here.
I'm gonna go to the
This would
bathroom real quick.
be
I have another suggestion.
perception
I feel
check, I think.
Okay.
Nature check. You're inspecting the value of gems. I think that's a nature check.
Okay, so that would be a D20, right?
Correct.
Okay. I get a 6.
Okay, that's still pretty good. You're able to detect that each gem is worth between 50 and 100 gold pieces.
Okay.
If
So-
these scrolls are as valuable as they appear to be, then I suggest that since there are 4 things, 2 potions and 2 scrolls, if someone takes 2 of those, then someone else gets another gem.
It's fine by me.
Can I
So
have...
who's gonna get the potion of the strength and healing?
Healing, I think we should just save, and in case of a fight, we can just like heal up. And strength, I think. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm the close range fighter, so maybe me.
Yeah.
But also, I use Dex, so
Yeah.
questionable. So maybe give it to me if we need any like heavy lifting to be done. But,
Yeah,
like,
I think. The strength potion should go to Boo. Would everybody agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
And who's gonna hold on to the healing for whoever needs it during our next battle?
I have the good berry spell, so I'm not particularly worried about the healing potion.
I think Simon, I think you should take one.
I'd be happy to take it, but I mean, if I'm already going to be having the cleric and wizard scroll, I don't know if I should also get the healing potion.
Yeah, but you can decide it to either use it on yourself for next
Or on
one, or you
someone
can use someone else. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So
I
you'll be
will...
the person who's holding on to it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sounds good.
So are we just splitting one gem each per person, or is somebody getting extra
I get no
gems?
gems. I get
Can I
no.
have 2?
Okay, so
why
two.
do?
Because I don't... The healing potion isn't particularly useful. You'd make the best use of the strength potion, and Simon wants both scrolls.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so Nyx get 2 gems, Boo and I get 1 each, and then Simon has scrolls, so none. No gems.
Yeah.
Sounds good?
Everybody tucks into a very nice dinner, and the halflings also give you enough fish jerky, so each of you have a full day's worth of rations for tomorrow. Okay?
Yep.
Punkin's father comes out to you and says, Punkin went to bed. She was so excited, but she's also exhausted. We're so happy to have her back. She was gone for a few days, and she just needs to be with her family right now. But I do have one treasure to you. I don't know how you'll decide who to take it, but I'd like to give this trinket to you as a sign of our thanks. It's something very valuable to my family, but it's the only way that I can express thanks. And he turns to Simon and hands Simon a silver ring.
Is
Thank
that
you.
magic?
I can cast. You know what? I will figure it out tomorrow morning because I've run out of spell slots, but I have an identify spell.
Oh, okay.
So after
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, shoot.
okay.
So I'm assuming we're going to tuck in and have a good night at the Halfling Village, and everyone's going to
Can
rest
I
up.
work out for an hour prior and then go to sleep.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Sibo, what's that?
Work.
Well, I
So-
figured if I do this every night consistently, eventually I'll up my strength and dexterity, since that is
Yeah,
nothing.
But you're also the wizard. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're not going to be in front of anyone anyway.
I know, but
Simon
You know,
doesn't
what
quite
if I-
know what exercises he's doing. He just likes to be doing them.
okay,
To make it
fine
feel-
then. I don't know.
Sibo,
push-ups.
what's the question, Sibo?
So I do want to talk to the chief. Is he still awake?
Oh, Gerard.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Gerard, now that we know what happened to Happy, would you be willing to forgive Shayna, her sister, that you initially accused of, being irresponsible? Also, can you let her, be inside a village instead of wandering around?
Of course.
She was very heartbroken by that.
Of course. Thank you for being so thoughtful. go to her and tell her she's welcome to come back, and we forgive her.
Got it. I'll send that message.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Steve. If you have a question, sir.
Yeah. Oh no, not for you. Never mind. Ignore me.
Oh, no question.
Sorry.
Are you all going to bed then?
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I'll see you to my family. I'll see you all in the morning.
Thank you.
Rod strokes his long halfling beard and goes off to bed. All right. So as everybody wakes up from the halfling village, you have a wonderful breakfast and a goodbye concert from halflings playing little flutes and stringed instruments, very, very tiny stringed instruments and things like this. Punkin gives everybody a huge hug and thanks you again. Thank you for rescuing me. I thought it was all over, but Boo, he took me out of that bag, and my life was handed back to me. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Please don't be stupid. Ever. I will personally visit you if you are stupid ever again. But good job. Good job. Continue doing good. Being good.
I promise.
Just learn to use the short sword before you try to.
Oh, yeah. I should practice. I will practice.
Please practice, please.
Good.
Don't go in blind.
She thanks you and hugs everybody. And Gerard says, please send Shayna our best wishes. And thank you again, adventurers. We will never forget you. You always will have a home here if you need to spend the night in the Riverslye Homestead.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Thank you.
They bid you adieu.
Goodbye.
Okay. So it's around 9 o'clock in the morning. You head back to the main road. Once you're back on the main road, as you get towards the main road, you see another sort of carriage with a horse and a driver and two people inside the carriage that look very well dressed. The horse is going at a very fast pace and it whizzes past you, headed towards Stonitza.
It's more of these people. Something is seriously going on at Rock Show, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So we're heading back to Stonitza?
Yes.
Yeah, let's head back. We can always check if we get a job there.
So the walk back is fairly uneventful. Nyx notices a few more birds that Nyx has not noticed before, as well as a few plant species that she has not seen, having been a rock gnome her entire life. This is news to her. When you get back to the village of Stonitza, you notice that it seems rather crowded for some strange reason, and that there are a lot more well-dressed people walking the streets than there were a day before. What do you do?
Are there any well-dressed people nearby?
Mm-hmm.
Could I go over and speak to someone who seems kind of friendly?
Okay, so you're kind of like getting close to the shops, the shopping area, and you noticed an older woman with like a lacy front and a very long puffy dress, and she says, yes?
I'm sorry, but see, I have some relatives who are living in Raksha, and I've been hearing that there's been issues going on there. I was wondering, I thought I might have seen you come in from there. I don't know, do you know anything about what's going on?
Yeah, it's terrible. There was a murder, and I think they're coming after the whole city, so my family and I decided to run away. So that's why we're here, and we're probably going to keep going south.
Who was murdered?
Tath was murdered. He was a bit of a rogue, a bit of a halfling. His body was completely burnt up. And then the captain of the guard was also murdered, which scared the hell out of all of us. So my family and I decided last night we need to hightail it out of Raksha and get out of the province for a little bit until things die down.
Wow, I hope you and your family are safe.
I hope so. We got a room at the Welcome Wench, but I have to tell you, it is so packed and noisy and smelly. Not quite what I'm used to. But it'll have to do for the night before we can venture onward.
Alright, well, have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Be safe.
Okay, is it just me, or is it very weird that 2 people get murdered and, like, the entire town vacates?
Yeah, that's weird, but I mean,
It was the captain of the guard.
Yeah, but, like, he's the captain of the guard. He's in a position where he's, think about how many people it would be useful to kill the captain of the guard. It should not be a surprise that he got murdered.
yeah. To be fair, they all are super well dressed, so they could just be incredible, like stupidly rich. And they don't want someone to kill them and take their riches. So they're leaving, so, no one murders them and is like, haha, I've got your money now.
So this is a very interesting contrast to me, right? Because, if what you're saying is correct, then that means that there is a law in place that preserves will, which would mean that and especially if you're very rich, you'd think you'd be able to hire someone or hire people to protect your stuff, right? So, there isn't law or anything like that which provides them with safety. And B, at the same time, it seems that this world is so peaceful that if 2 people city ever... So, there's something going on here at this city that is questionable.
Also, my question will be, are they just leading to, are they all fleeing to Stonitza, or is there some other event going on at Stonitza that makes people crowded? So maybe we can do further investigation on that.
Shayna would probably know, because she's been here for a week, I think.
Yeah, so should we go and meet Shayna?
Yeah, let's go find her.
She might be at the Welcome Wench where we saw her last.
Probably looked like she was staying there.
Let's go for some mid.
We deserve some after all this.
So the party heads over to the Welcome Wench. Breakfast is well underway, and you notice every single table is full. Most of the people you see sitting at these tables look very well dressed. There are a few people that you hadn't noticed before. Look about middle class kind of people, but every single table is full. Everybody's drinking mead and having bacon and like pancakes. Verla notices you when you walk in, and she says, "Adventurers, you came back! What jokes did you bring me today?"
We don't have any jokes. Too sad of a place to bring jokes. There's a dead child, so I didn't want to be like, hey, the kid's dead. Do you have any jokes?
Kid
so I can
died?
Really yeah, died. Yeah. Let's not talk about it. Let's not dwell on that.
Was the kid a cat?
A cat?
No.
Because she only had one tail to tell?
Oh.
And she says, "If you all don't mind standing, I'll run to the back and get you some mead." I said it would be on the house, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, please.
I'll trade you for a good joke. Let me just rack my mind for a second.
Yes, tell me. I can't wait. You wait here, I'll get the mead. So at this point, you notice a lot of chatter going on. A lot of people sitting around talking about things. You hear the word Raksha being said and mystery being said by folks, but no sign of Shayna at the moment.
We should ask Verla when she
You
comes back.
froze for the last couple seconds. What happened? Okay.
Yeah. But Simon wants to ask Verla where she is. Is that what I heard? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Verla and the scullery maid that you met last time with her chin out both come back, both carrying mead, hands you all a mug of mead. Verla says, "On the house."
I've got a joke for you.
Oh, tell me.
I've got a great joke about construction, but I'm still working on it. Thank you.
That was good.
You need to tell Thompson and Wilson your jokes.
Who are they?
Oh, the greatest bards in this part of central Virlinia. Since we've had so much business come in last night and early this morning, I think we might hire them to sing some stories to keep everybody entertained. I'm gonna send a messenger out to let them know that the welcome wench is in business.
Oh, Verla, just wondering, have you seen Shayna recently?
I haven't seen her, but I'm pretty sure she passed out inebriated again, and she might still be in her room.
Alright, thank you. Which room is hers?
Third one on the right, upstairs.
Okay, let's head up there.
I've got one more joke.
Oh, tell me!
What do you get from a pampered cow?
What do you get from a pampered cow? I don't know. What is it?
Boiled milk.
Got a snorts. I love it. You're a funny one.
Thank you.
I love a druid. Alright, so the party goes upstairs. What do?
Go to Shayna's room, start knocking.
What he said.
You hear a very masculine moan. What do you want?
Shayna?
Yeah.
What?
Can we come in?
Open the door.
You hear like a mess going on, like things being moved around, and somebody slowly shuffling to the door. Up pops Shayna, the halfling. She looks up at you and says, "Back so soon?"
Yeah, we solved it. We got everything. We've fixed everything. Give us our gems.
We found
In one day?
Yeah.
What proof do you have?
Well, we don't have proof.
We have-
If you would like to oh, actually, no, we do.
We have the ring.
Yeah, you know Punkin?
Yes.
Yes. So, she also got kidnapped. We rescued her, turned out Happy, very sadly is dead. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah.
I need to sit down. Here, come in, sit down. I need to sit down. Happy's dead?
Yes. There were goblins that had captured her, and, yes.
Not expecting that.
Nyx walks over and puts her hand on Shayna's shoulder.
Thank you,
But
my dear.
we have here a silver ring that Punkin's father gave to us, and thanks for bringing back Punkin. And we have the assurance of Jared that you are welcome back to the village.
And
Really?
we also gathered Happy's bones and ashes from the cauldron, and then we gave it to Gerard for proper funerals. So we were also going to tell you that you should head over there whenever you can. Yeah.
At first, adventurers, I thought you were lying, but that ring does look like Punkin's dad's ring. And if you found Happy's bones, it's high time I get back to my family and my village. It's high time I sober up. Well, Sibo and friends, a deal's a deal. Here are your gems, and I'll be getting out of your way. So, Shayna thanks you so much. She kind of gets dressed and hands Sibo the bag of gems and says, "Well, I guess a room opened up at the Welcome Wench. I'll see you all sometime. Gotta go.
Okay.
Bye, and thank you so much."
I'm
But
sorry for the news. I hope you find peace at the funeral.
what he said.
This news I will. Thank you.
Yep.
All characters go ahead and add 60 experience points.
Alright.
And Sibo, for mentioning the burial, go ahead and take a bonus 10 extra experience points on top of that.
Yay.
Nice.
So,
Sibo, you inspect the gems. There are 5 gems there, the same gems you saw yesterday. Each one is worth about 50 to 100 gold.
yep.
What do you do?
440.
Could I get
How
2? Because I'm
Fine.
Wait, so there are 4 gems?
5.
There's 5.
5.
But 4 of you.
Everyone else can.
Wait, why do you want 2?
Because I'm broke.
Simon's broke.
I'm happy to sell them and then give you guys the gold extra that I get after I keep leveling up. But
That sounds fair, but I suggest that any extra gold from that second gem go to Sibo, because he's really the guy. He's been tying up all our loose ends.
That's true.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sounds like we came to consensus. So everybody gets 1, and Simon gets 2, and then I'll get some of the money from the second gem if she is willing to share or whatnot.
Yes.
I'll graciously accept.
Okay.
So I have a question. So are they all same gems, or do they all look different?
They all look different, but they all look about the same value.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna ask about the color.
Oh, there's what looks to be an emerald and a jade and an amethyst, probably 2 topazes. Common gems.
Got it.
Gems that a jeweler might find very interesting.
Mm.
Can I
Alright,
find a
so-
jeweler go sell the gems?
Yeah, I'm gonna join Simon in finding jeweler.
So you leave Shayna's room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys want to stay in the room and stake it and try to see if you can rent it from Virla, you can, or you guys can come with us. I don't know what the plan is. Do you guys want to stay here tonight or want to go somewhere else?
I feel like the only thing left for us to do is to head out to the village with the murderers, because that seems like there's something to do there.
Yeah, I do
Rough
need to check the scrolls and stuff, but we can do that later.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to find a new job, because that one pretty quick. It was like a day. It was over pretty quickly. So if there's anything, bigger or at least more paying, I'd like to take that.
Virla walks over to you and says, I'm sure there's a ton of jobs in Raksha right now. Everybody's leaving.
I really don't want to go, though, because I'm lazy. Fine.
However, I'm betting Boo someone will pay very handsomely if you could solve whatever problem is happening there. It's almost like a pandemic. All the rich people are fleeing to come to places like Stonica and parts of northern Virlinia.
Fair. Makes sense. Yeah, let's go there. Let's get paid. Let's
Alright. Shall we go to
make money.
first?
And,
Yeah, let's go to the jeweler first, though.
Sure.
But
Okay.
also,
Virla says, oh, go ahead, Nix. Sorry.
Shayna's headed out.
Shayna's
So-
gone, yeah.
Yeah, the room's open.
Room free, yeah. You want to reserve the room, or what do you want to do?
Do we already have rooms, or no?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we should probably reserve a room so we have somewhere to stay.
okay.
Virla says, but if you're going to Raksha, it's almost half a day, so are you coming back? Or are you going to stay at the inn inside Raksha? Or there's another inn right before you get to Raksha? I know the guy that runs that inn. You tell me. I'm happy to save this room for you upstairs. But if you're headed to Raksha, there are other options.
The inns at Raksha most likely are empty, so also a good deal to go to an inn there.
Good
Yeah,
idea.
it's called the Red Eye downtown.
The Red
There's a
what?
halfling. It's called the Red Eye. It's
Okay.
right downtown in the center of Raksha. I know the halfling that runs it. She's a little runty, let's say. Not the greatest attitude of an innkeeper, but you'll meet her. But there's another inn right outside of Raksha called the Liar and the Troll that I would recommend. It's run by my friend Ray. He's very friendly, and he could probably tell you some things going on in that city. I'm only hearing rumors from what the people staying here have been telling me.
Mm.
Up to you. But either way, you can tell them that Verla sent you.
Okay.
The Lion of the Troll sounds nice.
Yeah.
I think we are probably gonna, since if we are willing to solve this mystery or solve this problem and get paid, we probably need, at least 1 or 2 days to do it. So we're probably gonna stay there, right? Got it. So one was liar and troll, and the troll, and what was the one in the Raksha?
Oh, the big tavern inside Raksha is called the Red Eye. It's if you see the sign outside, it's like a very bloody eyeball. Kind of scary, if you ask me.
Got it. All right. Thanks, Verla.
Thank you.
You're always welcome at the Welcome Wench. Huzzah!
So I think group agrees to go to jury together to get
go to the jeweler.
kind of price.
So you head back to the shops, and you notice that, once again, the collar and boots, and the dagger and the dart. You have a choice about which one to go into?
So which one has the jeweler, you said?
Oh, you don't know. We haven't asked.
Oh.
I want to go to
Where is the jeweler?
There should be better advertising.
We should have
I agree.
Like,
why don't we go to the is it Dagger and Dart? Or
Go to the Dagger and Dart, yeah.
And ask Dan, perhaps? About jewelry or, whatever.
okay, let's do that.
You step inside the Dagger and the Dart. You see Dan and his wife Shy, and their 2 kids are there. Dan says, "Hey, I remember you from the other day, yesterday, I think. How'd you make it up in Raksha?"
We didn't go there.
Oh, where'd you go?
We helped out some halflings in the village. It was pretty cool.
Really? Sounds great. Sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So do you know where a jeweler is?
Oh, Alston, the gnome who runs the collar and boots, he can appraise gems.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Let's go there instead.
Oh,
And just so you know.
Thanks for stopping by, I guess.
Sure. But those weapons that we bought from you, like that dagger, helped us defeat 14 goblins, just so you know. You might like to appreciate.
Incredible! I'd love to hear the story.
Let's not explain this again. Let's go. That would be our 3rd time explaining. I'm good. Let's just head out.
All right. Well, you're always welcome at the Dagger and Dart.
Look, point is, bear, goblins, dead child. That's it. We're going.
All right. We go to Austin.
Okay, so you go ahead and go to the collar and boots, and there's Alston and his wife in the back. Alston greets you and says, "What can I do you for?"
I need to appraise our jewels.
Yes, we have some jewels to sell.
To sell? So you want gold today? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Preferably, yes.
Hand them over. How many, Simon?
2.
He hands you 120 gold. Said,
Okay.
"These are very nice gems. I can trade these for some very nice things in Parancha later. Thank you so much."
Thank you.
Okay,
Anyone else?
I'm going to
Anyone
hand
else
over
have gems?
my jewel.
That's going to be worth 60 gold.
Okay, I'll take that.
Anyone else has gems?
I have 2 gems, one from the fight and one from Shayna that I got, that I want to get an appraisal.
Okay. Well, one of them's worth 80. The other one's worth 90.
Wow.
Gnome, are you going to be able to carry all this gold? It's kind of heavy. Isn't it easier to just take the gems with you?
No, I'll be fine.
I think I'm going to hold on to the gems.
For your sake, because you're such a little guy, I think you should just hold on to them.
You could let me hold on to the money. with my superior height and all, superior muscles, I have the strength potion. I can hold all the money.
Alright.
Well, before you go, or is anybody in need of repairing their armor? Does anyone need new boots or a potion or anything?
Do you have quarterstaffs?
Oh, I can give you my quarterstaff. I don't want my quarterstaff anymore.
You have one?
Yes.
Alright, I'll take that. Thank you.
Well, if you want to sell weapons, you want to go back to Dan's shop, the Dagger and the Dart.
Guys,
Nice.
why don't you just fuse your shops together? Like, it seems more convenient.
Oh, no, but I specialize in things that Dan doesn't know how to do. If you ever want to travel to the land of the dragons, only I make crampons in this part of central Virlinia. Dan doesn't know how.
Yes, but see, that is the key. It's a department store. Each of you have your own stores. Inside a store, you have to pay less in taxes, and you'll be more known. More people will come to your shop because there's more things in it.
Youngin, you stick to wizardry, and I'll stick to business.
Nah, Simon's back right now. You just don't know how to run a business.
Yeah, if you knew how to run a business so well, why aren't you doing that instead of adventuring?
Well,
Because
see,
this is more money. This gives
I don't
me
know.
more money.
I think I've had more money before you gave me those gems.
Nah.
My dear.
I come from a merchant family. We've been running business for years. I learned how to do that, so I have some background knowledge, but I don't. I decided that wasn't for me. Just because I care about
Alston takes off his glasses, kind of blows on them, wipes them, and says, "This young boy is trying to flex on me in my shop?"
Oh, I am not trying to flex. I am simply giving you my bona fides with regards to my suggestions. If you are in your much greater age and knowledge than I think they are a bad idea, it is entirely your prerogative to ignore them.
Yeah.
Well, my perfect, intellect and everything, I think Simon's right. I don't care about your age. I'm an elf. I live like 3 times longer than you, and I'm probably way older anyway. So,
even though it's only 10 in the morning, I think I need to go stretch my bones right now. So, have a good day, everyone.
Go do that.
Would you offer me just 5 minutes of your time, or even 1 minute, to appraise this?
The nice one in the party. Yes, what can I do for you?
I just have 1 gem I'd like your appraisal for, please.
Certainly. That's worth 10 gold.
Oof.
It has a chip on the bottom. I don't know if you noticed that before.
No.
Well,
If you want to hold on to that, we end up going up to where my family is. You can get that cut, so it's a better setting, and you could probably sell it for more.
Oh, wait. If one of you get the cantrip mending, you can also just mend it. Because that just, fixes it.
Wait, I can mend a gem?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
If it's a hole, or a break, I think you can. I have to look it up to be sure, but
yeah.
I think you can.
Okay, well, I do have that cantrip. Could I apply it?
It's a break or a tear. So, this is a chip, which doesn't fit the description of the other things that are on the list, so I would say you cannot mend a gem.
Okay.
Dang,
Well,
but you can have it recut.
Correct.
okay.
Alston says correct.
I suppose I'll hang on to it then, but thank you very much.
Well, up to you. 10 gold now, or who knows how much gold later.
I honestly think this gem is probably going to weigh less, and I'm not exactly traveling light right now. I've got about 95 pounds. So, I think I'll just keep the gem for now, but thank you very much.
You're very welcome, my dear. All right, you young business people. Have a good day. I need to go stretch my bones.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 He kind of shoves you out.
Okay,
That's he's got a weird way of phrasing that I just need to stretch, like
Well, no,
his bones specifically.
clearly we insulted him.
I mean, yeah. No, 100% we did. But he's
like,
dumb
why
and should
does he
do his
care
job.
that much? He's the one who's making money on us.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
The people that, like, since the prices aren't set, I feel like it's always best to be kind to shopkeepers because they can change the prices on us.
I mean, yeah, but I did not.
Wrong.
Also, you can always negotiate, or you can always upsell your stuff, you know.
Walk away.
Like, it's got a nice cut, it's a ruby but it's a, you know, let's say it's like yellow ruby, which is rare, or you can kind of sell it that way. But
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that.
yeah, I mean, you have to be your own merchant, right?
Right.
Business is business. So if you want to, you know, if you want to sell it for a higher price, you know, you got to make it appealing.
Make up some like BS story how it's this important gem that you got from a dragon or something, you know.
Yeah.
Getting creative here.
All right. So we are out of the shop, and what are we deciding now? So
Let's
are we
head over to the
traveling?
town.
Are we traveling straight to Rockshot?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would like to quickly cast an identify spell to figure out. I got 3 magic scrolls, and I'd like to figure out what spells are on each.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me which scroll you want to try to identify first.
Okay, let's do the wizard scroll first.
Okay, you cast your spell and immediately discover that the wizard scroll is a cantrip for a shocking grasp.
Okay, sounds good. So do I have to cast identify spell again?
Yep.
On
To look at the cleric. Yep.
Okay. So that's gonna use up. How long should it take to get to Raksha?
About 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
So half a day.
Maybe I can nap on the way or something.
Mm.
Okay. Can I identify the cleric scroll?
Yep. So, by the way, you're going to run out of components by casting the second identify, and you'll need to find more pearls.
Okay.
Because
so
this
am I
spell,
not cleric? Not
this spell
cleric,
requires pearls to cast.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So then the one I got from the troll then. Sorry, not the goblin.
So you cast the spell. I need to roll a die. Tell you what it is. It is a druid scroll for purify food and drink.
Oh, cool.
So it's a druid spell. First level druid spell.
Just so you guys know, I was adventuring, and it was just after I'd gotten off the sea somewhere. I was in a port, and I was in this place called Ribalka, and after doing this thing with another group of people over there, I ended up winning a spoon of purification, it was. So, can I use that in this campaign?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got a spoon of purification that will purify anything it touches or scoops up, I suppose. If you guys...
Nice. So,
You should probably
yeah,
eat
poison.
everything with it.
wait, so is that an item that purifies everything?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. And you are holding on to it, or are you saying you just have it?
It's in my pack somewhere with all this stuff.
Got it. So it feels redundant to learn the druid spell that Simon has.
A little bit. If we're going to all try to purify all of our food and drink, the spell would be much nicer. But if just one person wants to taste something or whatnot, we can just use the spoon.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, you should also just keep it just in case Nyx dies. Because I'm being serious. If that happens, then and someone like takes the spoon, like we need someone to purify our food now.
We'll see how it runs, right?
I should have said if someone robbed Nyx, but killing then robbing came to my mind first.
Well, that's what we've been doing for the past day, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Murder on the mind, I see.
Yeah.
I see that there are some cracks happening in our party relationships.
I'm not saying you will die and get robbed. I'm just saying if it happens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You never know.
Trying to defend myself, please just give me this one.
Okay, so do everybody agree? Are we all set to go to Raksha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All right.
So you're already on the road to Raksha when we pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.